Hey guys, and welcome to a video on a game called Riders of Icarus. Now, this is a game that I didn't think I was ready for. I put hundreds and hundreds of hours into another MMORPG called Black Desert Online. So when I saw the offer to play Riders of Icarus, a new MMO that's coming out, I was a bit hesitant. But I looked into it and the concept seemed kinda cool. It's like your typical MMO, but with, like, you can capture things, you can pretty much anything you fight. If it's mountable, then you can tame it, and then you can ride it, and you can get it to fight in battles with you, and that sounded really cool. So I started up the game, and initially I thought, okay, yeah, this is as bad as I thought. There were like ridiculous cutscenes with characters doing superhuman things. It just seemed very bizarre, over the top, and a bit too, I guess a bit too much for my opinion. But then I kept giving it time. The game itself, like every MMO, starts slow. You're not going to be hooked in the first few hours. But then eventually I got to the main city, which is where I kind of thought, wow. I realised how expansive the world is, and I realised I'm actually enjoying this. Like I'd gone out and captured familiars. The capturing process is really fun, and the combat itself, like without all the familiars and the capturing part of the game itself would still be a well-made MMO. It's nothing to write home about, but it's still well-made. The combat's fun, it's dynamic, it's a kind of an awkward cross between action-based combat and hotkey-based, click-based classic MMO combat, so it's not amazing, but it's still definitely better than the combat in most MMOs I've ever played, and which isn't many, I have to admit. But overall, the game just kind of impressed me, and what it led to happening was I kept thinking, okay, when's the paywall going to come in? When's it eventually going to reach the point where I have to pay to continue enjoying or to progress? But it never happened. Like, I saw points where I could pay real money, but it was more for convenience than anything, like more slots for my familiars, but there's nothing stopping me from releasing my familiars, like my old useless ones, or converting them into gems for my equipment. There was never any reason to pay. The main incentive, I guess, is to get what are essentially skins. Say if you capture a bear, and then you decide, okay, I don't want a brown bear, I want a bear made of shining metal, then you can pay the premium currency, which you have to pay real money for, in order to get a reskin of that bear. And the reskin does come with stats, but it's very minimal, like it's you get extra 100 health, and it moves 5% faster, or something like that. And there are skins for pretty much every familiar, so it's mainly a way for people to pay if they want to customise their experience, or to add a bit of convenience to it, of course. But the skin system, I like it. It's similar to Dota, CSGO, any game with skins, and they work really well. So I can't see a problem with this. I actually kind of hope more MMOs go in this direction. But I wanted to do this video because I think a lot of people are going to give this game a miss. Hell, if I hadn't been asked to, then I would have just completely ignored it and not gotten into it. But I am glad I gave it a chance, and I mean, hopefully you can believe what I'm saying isn't influenced in any way, because I was prepared to hate this game, and I was prepared to chat shit about it, but I was genuinely impressed. And the game's good, so if you are a fan, well, if you're a fan of MMOs in general, then I recommend giving it a try. But then if you are a fan of games like Pokémon, Spectrobes, any game where you can go out and capture things and use them and fight with them and train them and level them up, then this game is also for you. And for me personally, that's where my main enjoyment comes from, doing all that. And it really is enjoyable, and there's a huge world to explore. It's really fun. Also, I should mention, if you're an MMO newbie and don't really know like the technicals of MMOs, then this game does a very good job at holding your hand and guiding you through the experience, whilst not being too simple and basic at the same time. So I do recommend it, honestly. Like, if you're experienced with MMOs, great. If you're not experienced with MMOs, even better. It's very good. It's a good entry level. It won't be amazing. Like, it's not going to last years. It's not going to be the most popular MMO ever. And personally, I do think Black Desert Online is better. But if you kind of want to try something different, then this is a great MMO to get into and spend, I don't know, 100 hours or so just losing yourself in it until you get bored. So it's free to play, if I haven't mentioned that already. There's no reason not to play it other than the big download, but there'll be a link to it in the description if you want to give it a try. I gain nothing from saying this, I'm not being paid or anything like that. I'm not even obliged to make this video, I am just doing it because I wanted to tell people about it. But until next time, this is me, Evans with Z111. Please rating if you enjoyed the video and let me know what you think of Riders of Icarus. I am curious to hear. This is me out. Peace.